Muroi's case.
This is a story told by Shigeru Muroi, a Japanese actress. She lived by herself in her condominium. One late night, Muroi went out from her room for a quick errand. When the elevator door opened, there was a young man standing inside in the far corner. He was wearing all black, head to toe, with a black baseball hat worn deeply, as if he tries to hide his face. He was looking down on the floor, didn't even look up when Muroi entered the elevator, obviously avoiding to make an eye contact. Feeling a bit uneasy, Muroi said hello to the man as she walked in. The man didn't return his hello and kept on looking down on the floor. Muroi made sure to position herself where the man can be in her sight all the time. But the awkwardness didn't last too long, as the elevator stopped at the lobby shortly after. As soon as the elevator door opened, the man violently pushed Muroi's shoulder and rushed out of the elevator into the lobby. Muroi stumbled, but managed to stay on her feet. "Gosh, what is that man? This is crazy. I could have fallen and got injured." Muroi was mad. But when she looked up, the man was already disappeared into the night. A few minutes later, Muroi was done with her stuff and went back to her room. Since it was already late, Muroi changed to her pajamas. And this is when she noticed blood on her hand. Thinking she cut herself without knowing, she checked both of her hands and even her feet for any sign of injury. But she didn't find any cut, not even a scratch. She checked her PJ, but no trace of blood there either. Maybe it was on the clothes I was wearing, Muroi thought. And there it was. She found the blood stain on the shirt she was wearing earlier. It was right at her shoulder where the rude man pushed her when he got out of the elevator. "Yuck," she said, and quickly threw that stained shirt into the garbage. Muroi was quite mad at that strange man, feeling like her entire evening was ruined by him. She felt gross and irritated, so she took a shower and went to bed. Muroi is a talented actress, and she has been receiving many job offers. She had a lot of works coming up in the next short while. But she was also stressed and overwhelmed by her fame and busy life. A couple days later, Muroi was home concentrating on the stage script, as she had to memorize the whole script by the next day. The doorbell rang. Muroi reluctantly put the script on the table, slowly got up from the chair and went to answer the door. She looked into the peephole and found a policeman in uniform standing at the door. "Darn, what is it now?" Muroi sighed and opened her door without removing the chain. The policeman looked at her face over the chain and gave a quick glance at her room through the narrowly opened door. Yes, Muroi said bluntly. The policeman said, Miss Muroi, I'm sorry to bother you, but do you know about the incident in the building? What incident? Muroi asked. A dead body was found this morning on the upper floor. It was a homicide, and we think it happened about 2 days ago. So we are going around every unit, asking if anyone saw anything unusual in the last few days. So, Miss Muroi, can you tell me if there's anything you've noticed? Something, someone, noise, anything suspicious lately? Wow. Muroi stared at the policeman for a few seconds. Right away, she remembered about the man from the elevator. But at the same time, she thought about her upcoming stages and movies, as well as the script she had to memorize. Nope, she said to the policeman. Muroi just doesn't have time to get involved in this. All right, said policeman. Well, this is my phone number. Please feel free to call me anytime if you remember anything, okay? Muroi gave him a nod, then took that piece of paper with the phone number. Then she closed the door and carefully locked it. A homicide. The word struck her. She no longer can concentrate on the stage script, so she decided to take a few minutes break. Staring at the handwritten phone number the policeman gave her, she thought about the man in black from the elevator. It was shocking enough for her to find out that there was a murder in the building. It was a bit far-fetched to think she ran into that murderer, but he sure did look suspicious. And how do you explain the blood on her shirt? Should I call police? Muroi thought. But tell them what? I didn't see his face at all, so it's not like I can identify the guy or anything. So she came to the conclusion and decided not to speak about it. Muroi felt guilty for not speaking to the police, but she just couldn't afford to lose her focus from her work at that point. A week later, as she was getting ready for bed, she noticed a familiar building was on TV. It was the front door of her condominium on the news channel. She turned up the volume and get the details on the news. It was the news about the murder in the building. They said the police now has a suspect in custody. Then they showed the photo of the suspect. Muroi knew that she wouldn't recognize the suspect, even if it was the same guy she saw in the elevator, because she never saw his face. But Muroi stopped to look at the photo closely. Then her jaw dropped in disbelief. The face on TV, the murder suspect, was that policeman who came to her door. The killer, disguised as a policeman, came back to see Muroi, just to check if she would recognize his face from their first encounter.
Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this story. If you did, please subscribe the channel for more scary stories.